Hey everybody, and welcome to or back to my channel, My Kind of Stuff. And today I'm going to be doing my reading wrap up for the month of February. So in February, I read quite a few books. Maybe not quite as many as I would have liked to have read, but still pretty happy. There's a few that I read that I'm not going to be talking about because they are for reading vlogs that are going to be coming out next month. So we'll talk about them then. But we started off the month of February by reading some Valentine's type books. So the first thing that I read was the Improbable Meet Cute Second Chances Amazon Originals collection, which is a collection of six short stories by some different romance authors. And I was pleasantly surprised by these. Normally, these collections are not my favorite, but I had a really good time. The first one I read was Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren. I gave that one 4 stars. Next up was Time Will Tell by Hannah Bonham Young. I gave that one star, unfortunately. Next up was Second Act Romance by Julie Soto, which I gave 3 stars. Then I read A Play for Love by Trillian Pucci. I gave 2 stars. Then I read Death to Valentine's Day by Catherine Cowles, which I gave 4 stars. Then we had Valentine's Sleigh by Navessa Allen, which I also gave 4 stars. So overall, not too bad. I had a decent time with these. Um, then I also read How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson. And I ended up giving this book 5 stars. It was so much fun. This is a kind of like a love letter to slashers. We follow a friend group of 2 girls who go on a like to a speed date event, and one of the people at the speed dating event becomes obsessed with one of the girls and starts slashing people. So it's kind of like a rom-com but also a slasher, and it kind of mixes both genres so well, and it like we have all of these little scenes that we get from like rom-com movies, but also slasher movies pulled in. And it was just so much fun, like seeing these bits and pieces from like the classic movies. And yeah, it was so much fun. I buddy read this one with Kristen from the Neverending TBR in Kristen's Corner, and we were just having a blast, like kind of trying to guess who done it because there were a couple characters in here who were pretty shady. And yeah, it was just a great time. I also picked up another slasher after that, and that was the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi. And I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I struggled a bit at first on how to rate it. Um, and that was mainly because the pacing was a little bit slow. And at first that bothered me. But then as I sat with it more, I was like, you know what? I think it's okay that the pacing is a little bit slow because this is a slasher at a retirement home. Okay, these are all like geriatric patients. They're not fast. This isn't going to be fast paced, okay? These are elderly people. What am I expecting? They're not spring chickens. They're not gonna be out there sprinting through the woods. So I just needed, I guess, to realign my expectations. And then after I did that and like sat with it for a moment, I was like, you know what? This was actually for what it was fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I really loved, like, our final girl, our final woman. It it had a lot of heart to it. It was cute, it was adorable. Yeah, I think it was great. So really happy that I picked that one up. And then next up, I read A Box Full of Darkness by Simone St. James. This one I also gave 4 stars. This one was kind of like rekindling family connections, but also like creepy haunted house sort of story. And I think it was really well done. We got a lot of different perspectives from the different family members, a lot of backstory on what happened throughout their life. Because we're seeing them now as adults, but we got like what led to the house being haunted. So like not only their life, but like also what happened in the house previously. So a lot of history in this, and also like because they had all moved out of this family home after this tragedy happened with their younger brother. Um, we also get like perspectives from like groundskeepers and things like that of like their encounters in this house. And I had a lot of fun with it. I think it was good. I think there were some fun twists in it, and overall I had a pretty decent time with it. I was apparently like at this point like in full on horror mode, so I hopped into another horror type book, and that was Influencer by Adam Caesar. This one was on my horror bingo card for the year, and I gave this one 4 stars as well. I had a lot of fun with this. I didn't know anything about it going into it. I didn't know what to expect. I assumed it had something to do with an influencer, and it in fact did. Um, we follow a bunch of like high school aged kids, and one of them is an influencer. He is also a serial killer. And him and his family are kind of well off, and they move around a lot, and he kind of uses his platform to like kind of talk people into stuff, but like nobody knows who he is. He always like hides his face and like contorts his voice and like, but there's this one girl that's super obsessed with him, and she kind of like is very shy and quiet, and she's just very much like an observer of people. And she's got a group of friends, right? But she's very much the shy one of the group. And he kind of gets in with this friend group, and she ends up like clocking that, like, that's him, right? That's that influencer. And they're all like, How do you know that? Like, you can't possibly know." But like, she calls him out on it, and he has like kind of is forced to confess that, like, "Yes, that's me," but, like, keep it on the down low. And now he's kind of, like, trapped by her, and he's just basically causing havoc in her life and, like, all of their lives, and kind of just trying to ruin her in every way possible. She also is, like, a fake influencer. She's trying to like fight her shyness by like making these YouTube videos, but she doesn't actually post them. She has her account set to private. She just makes them for herself to like try and make herself feel more confident every day. Um and he ends up like somehow hacking into her account, taking it from her, and like making those videos public, and like it's a whole mess of a situation, and like basically just makes her life a living hell in every way possible. And it's just a chaotic story. Um a lot of bullying in here. Um there's obviously some slashing and murdering happening in here. It's just straight chaos the whole time, but I had a ton of fun with it. Definitely a lot of like high school drama, obviously, because they're high school kids, but like it was still a lot of fun. For not knowing what I was getting into when I started it, I'm very glad that I read it. Next up, I read Scarlet Angel by S.T. Abbey, which is book 3 in the Mindfuck series. I gave it 2 stars. Definitely nothing to write home about. This ended up being what the spinner wheel chose for me from Landing on a Kiss of Death Space, so it wasn't really my choice to continue. I definitely wouldn't have been continuing it otherwise. I know it's one of those things where, like, I've been mid-reading of this series for, like, 2 years now, I feel like, so I really do just need to finish it, so I guess I'm glad that it forced me to, like, make some more progress, and I really should just knock it out and finish it because it's so short. Um, but I did not enjoy book 3. I don't even know what the purpose of it was, like, nothing happened in it. There was no plot at all. Like, I don't even understand what I read. There was no purpose. Like, at least, like, books 1 and 2, there was a purpose of them, and they had, like, an overarching plot to them. Book 3 didn't need to exist. Didn't understand the purpose of it. So I'm at least hoping with, like, books 3 and f or 4 and 5 that, like, we come back to the plot and there's a point again. But we'll see. I I don't know. We're following, like, basically, like, she's a serial killer, he's an FBI agent, and they're a couple. I don't know. It's weird. It's not great. I don't know. People love it. I am not people, apparently. I just think it's very mid. It's like meh. But I started it and I'd like to finish it because I do own it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see where we get with that. Then I read my ARC copy of Amari and the Metalwork Menace by BB Alston. I gave this one 5 stars. I think that this one was written so well. We really saw some good character growth with Amari. We can definitely tell that, she's getting older now. She's having to make some really grown up decisions. Um, and if you don't know what this is a middle grade series. Amari's older brother goes missing. She finds out that he is part of this, like, supernatural investigation thing, and she ends up joining it, and kind of something happens. And right now in this book, she's kind of trying to make a decision where either, like, she's in or she's out. And if she's out, then she's all the way out, and she kind of has to, like, forget everything, forget it ever happened, forget everybody she's met. Like, if you're out, you're all the way out. And she wants out, but she doesn't want all the way out. So she's got a really big decision to make, and it's a very big, very grown up decision to have to make at such a young age. Um, and she's very much struggling with it. Um, and I feel like that's really fair. I feel like even an adult would struggle with it, and seeing her kind of problem solve, work through it, take her time with it, and not rush into it shows a lot of character growth for her because she was very much before the kind of character that just threw herself into things. So I liked seeing this from her, this kind of, like, internal battle of trying to do the right thing. I really enjoyed from her. So very excited to see this series continue. Um, and yeah, was very, very excited to have gotten an ARC copy of this one. That will be coming, well, that released on February 24th. So if you are reading that series, that will have just come out if you want to pick that one up. Then next up, I picked up Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinneman. This is his newest release. This is a standalone novel. This is not part of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. People seem to have it confused and think that it is. It is not. This is more sci-fi than Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think that is why people are not liking it. Dungeon Crawler Carl is definitely more heavily fantasy. This is heavy, heavy on the sci-fi. Um, I gave it 4 stars, and that is why I gave it 4 stars, but it was a little too sci-fi for me. There were some things I think that went over my head because it leaned a little too sci-fi, and that's not generally a genre that I read, so it's out of my comfort zone, and I feel like some things go over my head, uh, just because I don't know how to read it. I don't understand it all. I don't know. But in this one, we are following Oliver. He lives on the planet New Sonora, and basically, people from Earth get sent there and start attacking. So as Earth, we are invading a planet and basically killing these people off. And he's just trying to live his life, man. He's got these little farming bee bots like that his grandpa made, and like they're just trying to live their life. They're a simple people, and they're already struggling because like all their bots are starting to break down and they don't have the resources to make new ones, and now Earth is coming in and attacking them, and like they kind of had heard that like when Earth the portal opened between them and Earth, that was supposed to be like a good thing. It was supposed to be helpful. They were going to finally like be able to fix their robots and like get resources, and like now all of a sudden they're sending in like drone attacks and like whatever. So obviously everything's going awry and they have to start defending their land and their home and their property, and like it's really kind of a sad story, but like this one is not quite as funny as Dungeon Crawler Carl either. It's a little more serious. There are still some like funny things, but it's not like laugh out loud, like belly laugh kind of humor as in Dungeon Crawler Carl. It definitely feels a lot different. It feels like its own thing. So when you hear people being like, it's the same but different, it's not. It's just different. So don't go into it with the right expectations is all I have to say. Like don't go into this expecting Dungeon Crawler Carl because you'll be disappointed. This is different, and go in, go in expecting different. And I think you'll be more entertained. Don't yeah, that's all I have to say. But I did still really enjoy it. But again, very heavy on the sci-fi. Next up, I read First Fates, which is book 5 in the Zodiac Academy series. I gave this one 4 stars as well. Again, these books just keep getting better and better. I'm so happy I decided to continue with the series after the first book because I was definitely not sold after book 1. Um, Man, the freaking drama and the heartbreak and the heartache, especially right now, like book f- I feel like book 4 and book 5 now, like the heartache that we are going through, like our main characters, both sisters and their men, um it's crazy. There's just some wild crap going on right now. And I'm here for it. I'm so excited to continue. Like I finished this one and I was so ready to hop into book 6. Um and I feel like I have multiple series right now where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I just wanna continue," and that's a problem for me because they're all chunky books, and I don't have time to read everything. Um, so, yeah, this is definitely a series that I wanna hop back into again very, very soon and get to book 6. Um, so we'll see what we can do, if we can make that work very soon, because I'm just really having the best time with these. And speaking of another series that I am just having the best time with, Dungeon Crawler Carl, I finished up The Butcher's Masquerade, which is book 5. 5 stars, no notes. Fantastic. Absolutely loved this one. Princess Donut's class in this is just so her coded. It's not even funny. Like it's just amazing. It's the best. Um if you listen to the audiobooks, Jeff Hayes, like how how if you know, you know. And how? How did he do that? How did he do scene at the masquerade with her on the stage? Like, mm, he's so amazing. He's so talented. He's so freaking talented. That's all I have to say. But yeah, these are so good. They just keep getting better. I don't understand. Like Matt Dinniman's mind is just like I don't know how he keeps coming up with like new and better stuff. Like I, I feel like by this point for how big these books are getting and they just keep getting bigger, like my mind would have like been blank by now. Like I would have been like rinsing and repeating stuff. He doesn't do that. And every book is so different from the last. And like each dungeon level is so completely different and works completely different. The rules completely change from level to level. And I don't know how he does it, but it's wild and it's crazy and he's just so talented. Um and I'm just fangirling now. So, yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl, you should read it if you haven't. And if you've started it and haven't continued, stop what you're doing. Put everything else down. Just stop right now and go read it. Do it. You won't be disappointed. And if you are, don't tell me. Because I'll be disappointed if you're disappointed. Um, but yeah, loved that. I'm already like halfway through book 6. I will be immediately picking up book 7. I talked my work book club into starting Dungeon Crawler Carl, so I will very soon be starting a reread of the series. I will be picking up book 8 when it comes out in May. I'm just obsessed. I'm so obsessed with Dungeon Crawler Carl right now. Like I can't even begin to understand why or how, but so obsessed. Okay, anyway, that's it. No, it's not. I lied. There's one more book I read that I also gave 5 stars. And that was And Now Back to You by BK Borison. I actually have a special edition on the way that I think should be here today, but I don't have it in my little hands yet, so I can't show it to you. Um, but I absolutely love this one. I was a little bit worried. This is book 2 in the Heartstrings series. I didn't love book 1. Book 1 was the only book I've read by BK Borison that I just didn't like. So like I was hopeful going into this one, but slightly worried. But I ended up absolutely eating this one up. We follow 2 meteorologists, which like that's a buzzword for me because I am a sucker for a storm chaser. And they end up going to a like kind of like B&B up in the mountains to follow a like epic snowstorm that's happening. They get snowed in, so it's like close proximity. Something happens with the reservation. They end up having to share a room in one bed, and it's so cute, and I loved it. And they were just so adorable together in their banter. And she's kind of like a clumsy mess of a person, and I'm a clumsy mess of a person, so, like, that really hit with me, and I loved it. It was adorable. We got to see a lot of the 2 characters from the first book because they were all friends, and also our male main character, he takes care of his 2 younger sisters, and that their dynamic, like the 3 of them together, because they were a little bit older, they were, like, high school aged, but the dynamic of the 3 of them together was just so sweet. They were just, like, always rooting for him, and some of the conversations that, like, the 3 of them would have together, like, the heart to hearts were just so amazing, so heartwarming, like, because they just all want the best for each other. He always felt like he wasn't doing enough for them, and they were always like, "All we want is for you to be our brother, like, that's you do everything for us. We love you so much, we appreciate everything you do." Um, like, if it weren't for you, where would we be? Like, because their mom, very flaky, and she kind of just happily gave them up to him, and he's, like, never regretted being, like, their guardian, but, like, he always feels like maybe they would have been better off having a mother in the picture because, like, what does he know about being a girl? So he's kind of very high strung in that way, like, not never feeling good enough for anybody. He's got a lot of anxiety, and I also feel that too because I also have anxiety. So he has a lot of like anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and like our female main character is really good at like distracting him and bringing him down from that. And like it's just a really cute dynamic between everybody, honestly, in the book. They all, like, work really well to, like, balance each other out, and, yeah, I had a really good time with this. I think everyone did a really good job, like, balancing each other. And again, there were a couple more books that I read this month, but we're not gonna talk about them here because they will be in a reading vlog that you will be seeing in 2 weeks. So we'll talk about them there. Let me know down in the comments below if there were any standout reads that you read this month. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up on your way out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.